For 2,000 years, people have read the end of the Bible like it was a fantasy novel. We pictured monsters rising out of the sea. We pictured red skies. We pictured a dictator in a cape forcing people to get a tattoo, or a microchip in a dark, scary dungeon. We treated Revelation chapter 13 like it was science fiction. But what if we were wrong about the genre? What if Revelation 13 was not a horror story? What if it was a financial news report? And what if the system that stops you from buying and selling is not some evil magic? What if it is just a software update? Imagine a world where your money has an expiration date. Imagine a world where your bank account freezes because you posted the wrong opinion on social media. Imagine a world where you walk into a grocery store, grab a loaf of bread, and the gate simply refuses to open because your carbon footprint score is too high for the month. That does not sound like ancient prophecy anymore. That sounds like next Tuesday. I'm Matthew, and on this episode of Matthew Reveals, we are looking at the code behind a prophecy. Let's look at the text. Really look at it. Strip away the church traditions and the Hollywood movies. Revelation 13, verse 17. It says that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. For decades, pastors stood on stages and argued about what the mark looked like. Was it a barcode? Was it a chip? Was it a vaccine? But they focused on the noun and missed the verb. The scary part of that verse is not the mark itself. The scary part is the function. No buying, no selling. It describes a closed-loop economic system. A system where participation is not a right, but a privilege. A privilege that can be revoked by a central authority at the push of a button. In the 1980s, this was impossible. Cash was king. If the government wanted to stop you from buying milk in 1985, they would have to physically send an officer to the store to stand in front of you. It was logistically impossible to control every transaction of every citizen. Cash is anonymous. Cash is peer-to-peer. Cash is freedom. But today, we are watching the death of cash. And in its place, we are seeing the rise of something that makes the Roman Empire look like a libertarian paradise. We are seeing the rise of CBDCs, Central Bank Digital Currencies. Now, do not tune out. I know that sounds like boring financial jargon, but this is the most important change in human history since the invention of gold coins. A CBDC is not like the money in your bank account today. Right now, when you use a debit card, it is a digital representation of cash. It is a ledger. You have the money, or you do not. The bank does not care what you buy with it. A CBDC is different. It is programmable money. That means the issuer, the central bank, or the government can write rules into the money itself. Let me give you a real-world example. This is not a theory. This is happening right now in China with the digital yuan. They can program the money to expire. Imagine you get your paycheck on the 1st of the month, but the government wants to stimulate the economy. So they program your money with a use it or lose it clause. If you do not spend that money by the 30th, it vanishes from your wallet. You cannot save. You cannot build generational wealth. You become a hamster on a wheel, running exactly as fast as the state tells you to run. Now, take that technology and apply it to Revelation 13. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. The key word there is all. A total, universal system. How do you get everyone into a digital corral? You eliminate the exit doors. You ban cash. You regulate decentralized crypto like Bitcoin into the ground. You make the CBDC the only legal tender. And once everyone is on the digital ledger, the trap snaps shut. This is where the debate about Bitcoin gets interesting. There are many people in the church who are terrified of Bitcoin. They see digital currency and they scream, "It is the beast." But let us use some logic here. The system of the beast is about control. It is about centralization. It is about permission. You need permission to eat. Bitcoin is the exact opposite. Bitcoin is permissionless. It is decentralized. No government controls it. No CEO can turn off your wallet. If anything, Bitcoin looks less like the mark of the beast and more like the tunnel underneath the prison wall. But the governments of the world know this. That is why we're seeing such a crackdown. That is why they're pushing for KYC, know your customer, laws on every single wallet. They want to turn the open field of crypto into a walled garden. Now let's talk about the biometric part. The right hand or the forehead. For years, people thought this meant a literal tattoo. And maybe it does. I'm not ruling that out. But look at the technology we have deployed in the last 24 months. Amazon One. Have you seen this? You go to Whole Foods. You hover your palm, your right hand, over a scanner, and it pays for your groceries. It is marketed as pure convenience. No phone, no wallet, just your hand. And the forehead? Face ID, facial recognition payment. In parts of Asia, you smile at the camera to pay for your subway ticket. The infrastructure for a bio-linked payment system is already installed. We paid for it. We installed it on our phones voluntarily. We did not need a dictator to force us. We just needed convenience. The prophecy implies a moment of coercion, but history shows that people rarely need to be forced to give up freedom. Usually, they trade it for safety or ease. The terrifying brilliance of the Revelation 13 system is that it probably will not start as a punishment. It will start as a reward. Picture this scenario. It is 2026. Inflation is rampant. Gas is expensive. Food is scarce. The government introduces the new Fed coin or digital dollar. And they say, if you sign up for the digital ID and link your biometric data, we will give you a universal basic income. We will drop $2,000 a month directly into your account. But to get the money, you have to agree to the terms of service. And those terms? They're the updated version of the law. You cannot buy from unapproved vendors. You cannot donate to unapproved political causes. You cannot buy more than your allotted share of meat or fuel. If you reject the system, you do not get arrested. No one comes to drag you away. You just cannot buy. The debit card stops working. Your bank account is flagged. You're digitally exiled. We saw a preview of this in Canada during the trucker protests. Do you remember that? It was not a prophecy. It was the news. The government invoked emergency powers. They did not send tanks. They sent emails to the banks. They froze the bank accounts of the protesters. They froze the accounts of people who donated $20 to the protesters. In an instant, those people were unpersoned. They could not buy gas to leave. They could not buy food for their families. That was the beta test, and it worked. The protests ended not because of violence, but because of financial strangulation. Now amplify that globally. When we read Revelation 13, we often miss the second beast, the one that makes the world worship the first beast. The text says this second beast performs great signs. It creates an image that can speak. In the age of artificial intelligence, an image that speaks is no longer a miracle. It is a deep fake. We are entering an era where truth is indistinguishable from fiction. An AI-driven global governance system could monitor billions of transactions per second. No human dictator could ever do that. Hitler could not watch every German citizen. Stalin could not watch every Russian. They relied on spies and neighbors. It was inefficient. But an artificial intelligence linked to a CBDC, it is omniscient. It sees every purchase. It sees every donation. It sees every movement. It is the all-seeing eye, built with silicon and server farms. So, if this is the literal interpretation, where does that leave us? Is it time to panic? Is it time to run to the woods and bury gold bars? Maybe, but there's a deeper point here. The mark of the beast is not just about economics. It is about allegiance. In the ancient world, a mark was a sign of ownership. If you were a slave, you were marked by your master. If you were a soldier, you were marked by your general. The system of the beast is a claim of ownership over you. It says, I provide your food. I provide your safety. Therefore, you belong to me. The ultimate rebellion against this system is not just buying Bitcoin or hoarding beans. The ultimate rebellion is realizing that you are not owned by the state. However, we cannot ignore the physical reality of what is coming. We are moving toward a frictionless society. And friction is where freedom lives. When you hand someone a $20 bill, there is friction. You have to meet them. You have to carry the cash. But there is no data trail. When you tap your phone, there is no friction. It is easy, but you create data. Every step we take toward convenience is a step toward that closed loop. And the scary question is, have we already crossed the line? If the internet went down tomorrow, could you buy food? If your bank decided they did not like your politics, could you pay your rent? For 99% of people listening to this, the answer is no. We're already in the cage. The door just has not been locked yet. This is why the topic of rent versus own that we talk about on this channel applies to more than just houses. Do you own your money? Or are you just renting purchasing power from the Federal Reserve? If your money can be turned off, you do not own it. You are renting it. If your digital identity can be deleted, you do not own your status in society. You are renting it. Think about the concept of smart contracts. These are contracts that execute themselves automatically on a blockchain. In the right hands, they are tools of efficiency. In the wrong hands, they are digital handcuffs. Imagine a smart contract on your car loan. You miss a payment by 1 minute, the car locks itself. It does not start. Imagine a smart contract on your apartment lease. You miss rent, the digital lock on your front door changes its code. You are homeless instantly. This is the world of programmable reality, and it fits the biblical description perfectly. A system where you cannot function without the digital approval of the beast system. But there is hope. The Bible does not just predict the rise of evil. It predicts the endurance of the faithful. And practically speaking, we're seeing a parallel economy rising up. We are seeing people return to local farming. We are seeing communities trade in gold and silver. We are seeing the massive adoption of decentralized networks that cannot be shut down. They can ban the on-ramps. They can ban the exchanges, but they cannot kill the code. Information is like water. It finds a crack. The most important asset you can own in 2026 is not just Bitcoin, and it is not just gold. It is trust. Do you have a network of people who trust you? Do you have skills that are valuable outside of the digital matrix? If the screens go dark, can you still provide value to your neighbor? The system described in Revelation is a system of total dependency. The antidote is independence. We have to stop looking for a savior in Washington or Davos. We have to start building the lifeboats right now. The update notification is flashing on the screen of history. The system is ready to install. The question is, when they demand that you click I agree to participate in the economy, what will you do? The Bible says there is a cost to saying no. A heavy cost. It means being cut off. It means being an outsider. But it also says there's a cost to saying yes. History is moving fast. The literal interpretation of these ancient texts is becoming the breaking news of tomorrow. Stay awake, stay independent, and read the terms of service. I am Matthew, and thanks for watching Matthew Reveals.